maps that we see banned from DRX. You're looking at an Icebox, you're looking at a Fracture. They left both of them in. They've allowed this one to go to Breeze and banned a map they're 9-0 on. So I think they definitely have something up their sleeve here, but they have allowed FPX a pretty strong map pool for themselves.
Some sneaky strategies in the veto, and right here in the pistol, DRX up to much of the same. They've already pushed straight down middle, and Cider completely blindsided. The shot doesn't connect, a rarity for RB, and FPX now look to retake that control. They will fight for every inch of this control, and RB already making it costly. But with so many players trapped up close, the element of surprise needs to be huge. In fact, it doesn't, because RB is just picking everyone up.
It leaves Artis alone. He's a man who said in the video today that he's going to put himself on the map as one of the best in the world. This would be one hell of a way to kick it off in this pistol round. Still, doesn't seem to be aware of his position. Like, the rest of them just almost trying to hold in, but it gives him some individual jewels to fight upon, and actually still has access to the spike.
And the headhunter, we just saw it pulled out there. 5 bullets left to use on that, and in this 1v3, RB and Mako only need 1 to the body. So this headhunter is a very valuable weapon right now. There's a lot of opportunities for him. And with the TP down towards long, a little fake plant already coming through. Trying to bait someone into a fight, Tom, but it just doesn't look like DRX want to give anything away. This team is happy to stay nice and passive, group up, and take the 3v1 when they know they can win it.
Yeah, you can see the patience. Waiting for the full squad to be here. Bullets dwindling, and while eventually Zest will be there to finish things off. DRX are going to have themselves a pistol, the defuse, and the extra orb, but ultimately there's a little bit of extra cash for FPX, and they are a team that don't necessarily shy away from going for one of those early force buys, and I think especially on a map like Haven, there could be some value there.
I was surprised to see at the very start, right? You don't often get an opportunity to fight RB where he gets to jump on you and you walk out of it unscathed, but just moments later, he showed us that when he's expecting you to peek the angle, this is going to be a little bit more on point. 3 kills for him, opening up the pistol. Good amount of farming already towards the Blade Storm, which, I mean, now moving into this round, we know RB is going to be looking to grab some orbs and grab some kills along the way. Let's see what FPX respond with. Obviously, Artis still has a couple of those headhunters from last round, and he's invested into a few more. That's going to be their best chance of winning these range duels, and he's even got some meat shields in front of him. The whole team basically stepping out first and letting him try to just grab that headshot and hopefully even trade one of them out if it came down to it. Nade not doing too much onto Mako, and now he's got support, but luckily FPX are not throwing this round away. They're not going to go diving in towards the site just yet. And they can take it slow as long as they make it costly.
Yeah, the classic FPX, in other words. Unfortunately, Na'Vi aren't here, so we can't make the same comparison to just how slow some of those rounds are going to be. RB definitely a highlight. Someone that has been brought up many a time within analysts of someone who performs amazingly well within his own region, but doesn't quite have the same impact when it comes to international events. Someone that may even be within their last lifeline if things don't go well for DRX here. So him getting off to a strong start is a great sign on the Jet. Now, Angel, I was going to say, is basically alone within this site, but he's just destroyed his counterpart in stacks, and now they have an afterplan.
Yeah, and a weapon towards the back of the side. This could get a little bit scary with all these pistols grouped up. I mean, you rarely see players take it down to window. You usually want to fight one of the sides, but FPX are grouped up entirely, coagulated on this side. It's only Artis that's further back, and that means pistols get close range fights, and they are thriving in them so far, leaving it down to just Zest to try and get back in, and with the Bulldog up against everything that he is, even a Rolling Thunder, he hasn't got a chance. That's an absolute masterclass in how to play a low buy from FPX as they come in here and find a second round.
They didn't even force. They didn't even force. It was just a slow push into the B site and then just headshot after headshot. I have to assume that Angel saw like a gun peeking out or something.
He must have.
Because otherwise,
surely
he is cheating. Like that's the only other logical explanation there. Or he could just sense the warmth of his body or something from him within the corner. I don't know. Maybe he has infrared vision, but that was such an important opening kill, and from then onwards he basically just dominated the duels, even got enough orbs to use that Rolling Thunder. And you look at what's on the other side now, Mitch. No ultimates, no guns, no shields. this is as much of an eco as you're ever going to get.
At the very least, Esta's managed to get an orb out of it on A long. That might be all there is to write home about on the DRX side with full classics. I like the idea of the mid push. Obviously, great success found with this in the pistol round, but the element of surprise not in their favor this time around. And so they'll start to back off. At this point, Tom, I think DRX's best chance is exactly what they're doing, gambling on a site, grouping up, and just hoping that the sheer numbers that they put will give them the advantage in the fight if FPX come here. And to be honest, Tom, it looks like they might. Oh, they're giving up C long now, moving out of mid. Looks like they've got some sort of an idea on A, and this is much
I think you may have been a little bit overzealous seeing 50 seconds on the clock and assuming that was where FPX were going.
It was more the whole day.
If they were there like at 15 seconds, I would have agreed with you.
Yeah, sure. But it's the fact that they have no control over A short, A long. I'm thinking they never go A, but they're surprising me by taking the B side in a little bit of a tough spot. There's a push coming around here from RB. They didn't notice him. He managed to thread the needle altogether. Zipan trying his best on the backside, but we could have a complete reverse. How is this happening? Xiao is left alone, and they've recovered the weapons, Tom. It's 10 seconds left. DRX's round, and RB with a 4K is the one that wins it. That is utterly ridiculous. And if this is a sign of how this game's going to play out, I don't think anybody's ready.
So you know when I premised that at the beginning by the fact that that was nothing? That was literally just classics. Like that doesn't make any sense logically that they should be able to win that round, but somehow they come out with all of the kills, steal the weaponry, and well, FPX are going to be left feeling like fools.
That is just ridiculous. And even if we look back, there was a moment where RB just walks through the smoke. He got perfect timing in threading the needle. Then they went to check it, but he just slipped by. Those kind of gaps, they're rare to see, but FPX have paid a heavy price for it. Now we end up a couple of rifles for FPX. They do still get a decent enough investment, a good opportunity to pull this one across the line or at least make it competitive. Obviously, we'll see Zipan and Cider presumably much more passive in the duels, wanting these rifles instead to be opening. And look at the bait out of FPX. They understand that as soon as they show presence like this, DRX have looked to react and look to punish. The stun came through, didn't yield really what they wanted from it, but they managed to catch Cider much further back away from the door, and they maintain garage control. I mean, fantastic start for DRX. Smoke's now removed. It's going to be much more difficult for FPX to get into a site.
Angel looking to almost try and do this on his own. He's playing the battle breach by the looks of things. Like, you have a chamber and a raise on your team, but the first man taking contact is a breach. It doesn't make any sense, and while the right click will diminish the knives, he still knows he's in there, so free kill for Otis at least, but there's still two other players, and he's pushing with the spike. He needs to wait for that little bit of extra support. The spam not going to garner anything, and they still have Marco in this close corner.
It's all about Zipan here, but he's being caught. And now the rifles are going to have to do it themselves, and they're up against so much. The TP might get him out of the corner, but he's not out of trouble. The 1 versus 3 on Artis's hands, and only a couple of seconds left. DRX have locked in a third round, and the lead will finally go convincingly into their hands, at least for now. And with the rifles that FPX invested into, Tom, they're still able to get a decent buy up here. So it's not the end of the world, thanks to that weird early round economy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Normally you'd look at that and you'd be like, okay, that's the round that DRX went to
like a force buy or
crush their economy or something. No, this is still going to be a 4-buy for FPX. It's been one of the weirdest starts to the game. More importantly, speaking about RB, he has kept that form that he had versus North Eption. Man is 8-2. He did the majority of it when he started off with a classic, shutting down the aggressive push of Angel as well. And he is someone that, as I said, if he's online alongside the likes of Buzz, this team is fierce.
Right there.
Round 5, Tom, and we're just about to see Angel get his Rolling Thunder for the second time. Coming out of this round, that'll be confirmed. The ult economy certainly flowing for FPX, but only the 1 round thus far. And now, as we said, this is where kind of we return to normality. This is a full buy where DRX have economic advantage. If they win, they should FPX's economy probably see a 5-1 lead and even more credits in their bank account. And already, that's a good sign for the Koreans. RB able to open it up. It's Angel gone. So that Rolling Thunder might be online, but it ain't going to be used right here. Buzz is also caught Zipan and stays alive to hold down this C site. Has support coming through. FPX really running into a brick wall on this one.
Yeah, that artist said earlier that he was thinking they could just beat them individually, and what they've done in this round, I think that's what they were attempting. Just solo push after solo push. Finally, the remaining 3 players going as a team, but all DRX need to do at this point is trade. That might be easier said than done, though, because already, artist brings it back into a closer scenario.
The recon up and over to try reveal them through the smoke. FPX were wise to it, but they've lost the spike, and artist falls right afterwards. A convincing fourth for DRX, and now no credits for FPX. It was a very close start to this map, Tom, but it looks like the Koreans have earned themselves a strong defensive start.
Yeah, I'm still getting the similar flashbacks we had to yesterday where FPX were playing against Ursha. Like, solo peek from Angel, no utility used. Solo peek from Zipan, not much utility. I think they used a Paranoia, but ultimately the rest of the players were nowhere near able to trade. Those are the sort of duels that are not going to work against a team like DRX. Even if you get 1 kill, it's almost instantaneously going to be traded, and I feel like FPX almost needs to take a moment and say, okay, that was a little bit silly, that was a little bit risky. We now need to start actually playing as a team, because look at that round that they actually won. They pushed all 5 into B and just traded.
This is definitely a round that has taught FPX a lesson. I'd imagine they come out of that with much more respect for DRX. A timeout even pulled into play here. And look, they've got a little bit of something. I saw just before we came into this, Artist bought up the rifle. He has Tour de Force for next round, so maybe a chance. At least if he goes down, obviously he could play the Tour de Force, but if he falls, then they're back to pistols, whereas they can recover that Vandal and try to do a little something with it.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like Artist is the reverse of the way the majority of players use Tour de Force. A lot of people use Tour de Force as an eco round buff to almost just try and win yourself a round you shouldn't. Artist is much more, I want to use it in a round where we're buying so that we can actually make plays around it that aren't just me making incredible risks. I don't necessarily think either way is wrong, because one's used to buff your economy to get yourself a buy, the other is used as part of your buy, and then you can use the economy elsewhere.
So a lot of ultis as well, 5 online for FPX. It's still a dangerous round, but DRX have been clinical in how they've handled a lot of these pushes. Reveal early, getting a ton of information. That's 3 players spotted. And you know RB is still aggressive on that angle. Angel falling to the op at the start of the round again. Rolling Thunder gone. And of course, all that initiation utility now out of play. And it's going to be much more difficult to push RB off an angle.
I don't really understand why he is the one taking point of contact every round. Like, I know that's Angel's style, but you have, well, you have a chamber basically on that side, which is basically the point on the attack for him to try and take the battle. Xiao? Maybe he should be taking initiation in every single round, because that was absolute filth. Artist wrapping around the back, and Xiao's now found a rifle. Artist has found one as well. FPX, they can't win buy rounds, but give them a couple of pistols and everything seems to work.
Still, a sliver of HP on Xiao. Artist not too healthy either, and it's Buzz that's left in this clutch. FPX decide to play this together down below. Xiao just now swinging out. I don't think he spotted Buzz, but there's the info now with the swarm grenade going down. Got 2 different angles. They need to make sure the timing is perfect on these peaks. The turret, even a big issue for Xiao. He's almost baited into a swing. Buzz, he suspects exactly the play. He's got a great read on it, but he won't land the shot. 21 HP. This man starts the round with a Sheriff and gets 2 kills on A long. Unbelievable work from Xiao. He has just earned them a second.
Yeah, peak Xiao, honestly, I think has some of the best aim in the world. You're witnessing it right now. It seems to be in the absolute zone, but the thing is, I don't like the fact that at the moment the only rounds FPX are winning are ones where, firstly, they're based around pistols, and secondly, they're just playing together. Like, in all of their buy rounds, it's been much more individualistic, spread out, and risky. Whereas when they go into their pistol rounds, they're playing as a squad. They're moving as a unit and trading effectively. Seriously.
That's 3 times in a row, Tom. I mean, we really can't see much more success from RB with this op.
I think you can just make an RB highlight reel of him killing Angel, and it will last long enough for the halftime, I mean, if that's something you fancy.
I'll already tell you, Angel's going C next round. If he goes near A long, I don't even know. They've tried smoking it off. They've now tried flashing it. They've tried everything, but it just doesn't matter. This guy's hitting the shot. He's always on a different angle, getting up and above the smoke on the left side. Before it was the right side. There's just no break to be found for FPX in those early duels, and I think it's being clearly stated at this point. You can have your A long control, but I'm going to make you pay for it. And that cost is, well, it's their IGL every single time.
Yeah, and it's your breach, which again is just a frustrating player to lose in the majority of rounds. Now you can see Buzz has placed down the majority of his utility. Sider's already spotted it, and I think he's going to try and bypass it with the smoke, although this will be fairly obvious. As you can see, stun already thrown in, wonderful from Stacks. He's got the spike. An easy isolation of that player, and now moving in. It is at least going to be retrieved. Cider and Xiao, though, again, just able to swing these rounds back into contention. Xiao is on an absolute tear at the moment, but RB doesn't seem to miss. It's left onto him once again. Try and bring this back. An instantaneous headshot to turn it into the 1 versus 1. Has a rough idea of where RB is going to be trying to take the fight, trying once again to find that headshot.
6 bullets.
It only has a couple of left. The man only ever seems to need one. Sticking that defusal at least halfway, waiting on the edge. And Xiao back-to-back 4Ks, a Red Bull clutch, and a 3rd round for FPX.
This man is single-handedly keeping FPX in contention in this half. I mean, there's not much more that you can ask from him. He comes into the previous round with a Sheriff, gets 4 kills. This time, trades are perfect. That backside trade, it's exactly what happened in that 2nd round where RB was able, or 3rd round, where RB was able to run through, right, and catch them off guard. This time, Xiao is there. You can see FPX, that last one right there. So obviously, during the technical pauses, as you guys may know, coaches are not allowed to have any sort of discussion, right? You got to keep quiet while things are getting sorted. But DRX came out of that and said, let's take a moment. Let's just, you know, gather ourselves. They've got a strat here.
Do you want to know something funny? Angel did go and swing A-bomb.
Of course he did.
Well, Cider's actually died from behind. This is now much more of a problem because there is a decision to be made from FPX. Is do we either continue into the A site, not really knowing how many players are currently behind us, or do we try and fall back and fight the Bladestorm? And well, I agree with their decision.
Well, it's not just the Bladestorm anymore, right? Because Mako is there, so the rifle is being recovered. Shock dart, bit of damage.
Yeah, not that much,
Nothing to write home about for sure. But it's RB that I'm worried about. This guy on his way back through. No dash to play with. 1 kill to get that back online. But it's Artis holding him right on the way through. Shot not going to connect, and now he's out of there. This is a big problem. At Cosmic Divide's locking them out. They don't even know if the defuse is coming through necessarily. They'll have to keep going back in to check. Rolling Thunder, but RB's alive, and he's down! Artis has caught him! This is huge. They know that the defuse wasn't coming through, and now they've heard it. The swing is perfect. Zipan whipping a little bit, but Artis is there to pick up the pieces. They get a 4th out of that, well handled by FPX, but we have to remember, coming into this round, DRX really didn't have a lot going for them.
That's the thing. They use Tour de Force, they use Nightfall, they use Rolling Thunder, and they use Showstopper.
Yeah.
So, and, well, the other ult is from the Shadows. So, in other words, they used all of their ultimates to beat an eco.
Not great when you look at it from that perspective. The initial fight, the initial push down through mid, it's almost funny because we said, like, oh yeah, and then RB pushes like mid or something and kills Angel. It was Cider that ended up going down, but the aggression's certainly working out. It's an A short push out of DRX this time around. 3 players towards the A side and nothing given up yet, although I think RB was soon to get a fight. You see all this presence made on C gets DRX to start rotating. They've now left RB solo holding this angle, and so it all comes down to whether... I mean, I don't know why I'm even asking that question. RB's probably going to kill 1. Let's see if he does. Artis in for the swing, and it's Artis that's quick on the trigger.
It's almost like sending a chamber to fight against the opposing AWPer might have been an idea.
I don't know if that's better than a breach just running out jumping. I don't know, Tom,
it's close.
I'll take your word for it this time. I'll have to do some digging into that one.
Wow, Artis has won that duel. There you go. That takes out RB, who has been... really the only danger man for DRX so far. The rest of the team haven't had to do a lot because of the amount of damage he's been able to do. And now this A site falls completely under the control of FPX. But you got a Rolling Thunder already in play, ready to go. You've also got KJ ready to set up if needed. Obviously, there should be some counter utility, but with the Aftershock already gone, I don't know if that lockdown's going to actually be destroyed.
Oh, they were trying to just push right into it. The stun has left Cider in such an awkward position. 1 bullet at a time, and Buzz recovers for 3, leaving Artis to do it all. And, well, I think this is a little bit too much of an ask. He's completely stuck. He's being grab-welled in, running through a smoke with an AWP, and Buzz, a man who should have been dead long, long ago, finishes off the round with a 4th. As a matter of fact, Tom, he's basically got his ult back online.
Yeah, the lockdown definitely didn't win the round in the way I thought it was. It was mainly just Cider trying to destroy it. I really like the idea. They had a C set up to basically catch the players so they couldn't run away from the lockdown. The flash was a little late though. That's the main issue. If that pop flash goes off, even if Cider is stunned, the player has absolutely no idea he's there. The problem is, well, he whiffed, and also the flash came through way too late.
And the stun from Stax was absolutely next level. I mean, as soon as they sense that pressure, he is responding like that. Yeah. He had a ton of things he could have done. He could have just went out running for the fighter, anything. But the stun saves the day. Oh, there's an easy kill for RB. The reveal, making it the cleanest shot of his career. Xiao is down, Cider is injured, and DRX are well and truly ahead in this round. But FPX, they're on their last legs economically. This can't be one that they just let slip.
Yeah, RB definitely not shying away from a fight, even after being shut down in the previous round. He has had so much success, but he's just patiently waiting. Definitely not seen the best of Zipan so far in this game. Someone who definitely could be there to take the space, but RB, another shot connected. Man is on an absolute tear. And again, this default just isn't paying any dividends. I think FPX almost need to go back to these sort of fast-paced plays together, because if you just give these individual fights over to DRX, they're winning nearly all of them. Yeah, RB is.
In the slower buy rounds, when FPX are playing that methodical game, DRX are winning. They are miles ahead right now. They look very clean. The scoreline is still in a recoverable position. Angel, oh, he's being caught as well.
They are aware.
For a team that comes in saying maybe they can beat them individually, Tom, this certainly isn't looking like it. A Prime Gaming flawless coming out of DRX. And that has left FPX probably waiting till the last round to buy. I mean, I don't know if they're going to want to just put all their chips on the table here and now.
No, I think they're going to put a little bit in onto Artis just because he's so close to actually getting a tour de force. Like getting a few orbs as a chamber, it shouldn't be the most difficult thing in the world. And we are starting to witness what happens when Xiao stops killing everybody. I feel like that tech pause might have actually helped DRX out just a little bit, because he's not been on a tear, and you can't really expect him to have been for the entirety of that first half, but without him basically clutching out these rounds, you're starting to see those real vulnerabilities once again, those early shutdown rounds, and well, we're going to see that pace picked up, and already Artis wins them that first duel.
Still plenty more to deal with. Mako on backside. He's got the first. Now they know where he is. They're swinging out, but one at a time. Eventually, they group up, but it could be too little too late. The Hunter's Fury with one, leaving Cider alone. No shield, 73 health, and still a spike to be planted. He's got the paranoia to work with.
He could TP to the other side of the map as well if he wanted to buy a little bit of extra time. From the shadows, doesn't necessarily have the most value in the world. Maybe just trying to sell the fact that he's still here, but no, he's actually going to commit to it completely. Looking to see if he's pushed within that smoke, trying to almost just close him down and not expecting anybody to just run straight through behind him. DRX are going to have themselves a 7th, but as you mentioned, there will now be a buy coming up for FPX.
Yes, indeed. This was very much the game plan from FPX coming in. They knew this was a round they're likely to concede, and honestly, even if they end up at 8-4, I think that's they can be pretty thankful for the rounds that they've picked up along the way.
Yeah.
Very good attempt by Artis. Now has the tour de force to work with at least, so we'll see if that can have the impact. And that scope fight up against RB, if he can manage to find that wherever it may take place, we could see FPX in with a little bit more of a chance, but it feels like if you leave that jet roaming around this map, give him free reign, he just cannot stop finding value.
Well, the exciting thing as well is you kind of see what Marco does best in that round. Like his C-site holds, just almost playing around his own utility. He never seems to be caught off guard. Like the man is very good at reading different ways or different positions. It does look like they're going to pick up the pace once again. Buzz under a little bit of pressure. They're going to throw out the Cosmic Divide, and Marco ready and waiting. Good trade back for Buzz is still here, but Cider, again, we've seen his TPs yesterday. He makes it behind an opponent.
Shrouded step from behind the Cosmic Divide, absolutely perfect. Now the Rolling Thunder, though, making this awkward. Cider holding strong for 2, but Xiao has to do the same. He's had some incredible clutches thus far, but the drone about to reveal him down below.
No
Hasn't
way.
seen him. It's gone right past him! They have absolutely no idea! Shao is about to backstab them and close it out! 5 rounds for FPX, and another unbelievable clutch for this man!
Oh, that's so cursed that it doesn't actually check that final corner. The Red Bull clutch coming out from Shao, and honestly, he has won 3 of their 5 rounds. Individually, 3 of their 5 rounds.
They even canceled the drone early. It was on its way, right? And they're like, oh, he's not here. He's way down on long in the corner. Don't worry about it. Oh, just a little flick to the right and the round could be theirs.
Again.
That first half was something else. We're rocking 7-5. It looks like it's been a close competitive game the whole way, Tom. And in some way, different way than I expected it was. Early fight for FPX. They see a lot of contact outside of A long. We're starting to see the shift over towards this side. 2 players now up close, and it's still going to be contact taken by Artis, but a bait setup for Shao a little bit further back to cover. Good opening for Artis, and the rest of the team is showing up. That is a clean pistol from FPX. Unless Mako's got something to say about it, the first at least already found.
Yeah, I just definitely disagree with what you just said before this round began, because he just ran at the player using their drone and then killed someone else instead. Marco, though, has turned this back into a workable position, but the double peek out from FPX will give them the pistol, and wow, game on.
Well, that's exactly what they needed, right? That little bit of momentum to burst right back into this map. But you know what? A pistol round was won in the previous half, and things didn't exactly go according to plan afterwards.
Look at this man. Look at what he is doing. He's playing a completely different game to anyone else.
But it's off the back of the utility, right? That stun comes through. He knows this player's in trouble in the close corner, and as long as they don't have that immediate trade from short, he's good to get out of there, reset, and even pull the headhunter out in a fraction of a second. Altogether, clean stuff. Now we see if DRX have a little bit of that pistol magic that FPX showed us.
Oh, they showed us as well. Their flat eco win that they managed. It's going to be a very fast-paced take on towards this C site. Cider stuck in the corner, solid stun out, and again RB just so dangerous in these rounds. He has been a superstar so far today, and he's going to get one through the smoke. Bear in mind, even just damage here is huge. They brought rifles into this round on the side of FPX alongside a couple of pistols. They've already lost one of them, and now they have to worry about even winning the round.
These players are caught behind the Nano Swarm. It's even more time bought, and you can see DRX are content to now start to run that clock. Group up on the site itself, take the fight together. Shao already dealing with RB. I think he knows the buzz is up close, leaving Stacks to do it all. The time, not ideal for this, really. And he's certainly not got the best weapon in the Ghost. Swinging out at first, Zipan's already got it halfway, and that's bait. Just the fight. Oh, no! Shao down! But Stacks can't get away. Couldn't quite make it out, and with just about enough time, they will get that defuse across the line. Clean, Tom. You know, that's that second round follow-up. Yep, nice and easy.
Mitch, man. Nothing crazy will happen in this half.
Okay, well, no. Crazier was
oh, this wasn't crazy. Him getting 3 kills running into a site with a frenzy. They had 3 rifles in this round, Mitch. 3 rifles, and they get out with 1.
Than Angel on back B site spamming someone for no reason in the head. That's on the second round.
I don't know. I think RB is making an argument, making a case.
All right, we'll let it keep going a bit. We'll see if DRX jump out A long 3 times in a row. FPX for now, they're going to be doing a little bit of a long aggression of their own. They've got the nade, they've got the pull, and after the C's is dissipated, they're starting to push up close with Zipan. And also got Artis holding from further back and a heavy rotation to the C side. The great early control coming out of this defensive side, but plenty of time left on this clock. And DRX are very much allowing FPX to have this early control. They want them to try and push and maybe get a little bit overeager. For now, that's not coming through, and well, you know, as time goes on, a decision's going to have to be made here on the attack to start fighting for it.
That's the thing. It's like you've got the likes of FPX basically using those 2 players that have pistols to buy back into rifles. Everything else is whatever they had, which, well, is not necessarily fantastic. They do have enough to buy into the next round, but this is much more of a normal-looking bonus round from the side of FPX. Now, they do still have the Headhunter, some pistols, but the Execute is coming through, and RB is leading that charge.
Oh, he absolutely is. He's already on the C site behind enemy lines, and Angel is taken down. The Cloud Burst gives him a safe haven while his teammates start to group up and look to help him out. He doesn't need any help, though. With Cider eliminated, the site's theirs, the plant is down, and they've only lost 1 man on the way in. With Zipan on that flank, he's even being watched by Buzz. Oh, that barrel might have been seen. No, it wasn't. And a kill from Xiao makes this competitive.
Yeah, and they don't really have any ground anymore. They've got to try and reclaim some positioning. They're also getting information of where Marco's currently hiding, but Zipan doesn't know where that second player is. Already looking to try and swing out, but being delayed by the gravity well. Xiao now taking space. Another found, and it's left onto this man again, facing off against Stacks, but he's got that rolling thunder. He's just looking to try and waste as much time as possible. Doesn't even fancy a peek, not even going to give Xiao the chance. I don't really blame him at this point, and even with the knowledge of where this last man is sitting, there just isn't enough time for Xiao still managing to land the headshot. And actually, I think he might have just got it. What is that?
It's not possible. It's not possible for a player to be this good. It's just not. The clutches he won in the previous half were just unbelievable. But this one here, I mean, he made every decision. Tapping it for the rolling thunder, tries to run out of it, catches himself on the spike, gets it halfway, and he's already coming off it.
That's so ridiculous. So production, I'm going to need that quote from Mitch Man to be in the lower third.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
Mitch
you know, I thought I was safe.
Nothing crazier is going to happen this half.
I thought I was safe.
What was that?
I thought I was safe. I really, Tom, you know, you can't blame me. 8-7. FPX won another round, and DRX have got pistols, but RB on a Blade Storm. There's no rest for the wicked as FPX are finding out. DRX already on the site, looking for a plant. And with a weapon retrieved on RB and a Blade Storm still to work with, this round is anything but easy.
Oh, Ardis, it's getting a little bit ugly, I'll be honest. He's left on to just 27 HP, and even though they've used the Nightfall, okay, it's given them the information, but ultimately those players are already gonna have that debuff dissipated. Gonna have the smoke down onto the spike, just trying to give them an angle to start this defusal. You've got Xiao just holding onto the angle, but they've already managed to move that defusal off of the spike. Zipan's gonna be dropped as well. The spam finding another, and it's left all onto Ardis, the man low on HP. This time, I genuinely believe the clock has gone, and he'll just have to try and hold on to this gun. So much damage being done at least, but it was a thrifty round out from the side of DRX. No round is safe, no round is sacred. Anything can go either way.
This game just keeps on giving surprise after surprise, man. 8-8. DRX bouncing back, and it's RB. Every time it's RB. The early duels on defensive side, the consistency, the positioning. I even think back to the A short round where he'd already gotten a kill on short, fell back, played around the tall box, but he was in the perfect position, so when Angel stunned it, he wasn't hit and he was able to get a kill. Like, his defense was amazing, but here on the attack, the pace change, the speed, the thing we normally sit back and say, well, Tom, you know, now you're on the attack, you're Jet, well, you're not going to do as well, just got to dash into a site with a friend. Oh, he's killed 3 people? Okay, cool. Delivering on another level.
Nerf the frenzy. I have now been proven that that gun is too OP, just when it's held by RB. So in other words, we need to nerf RB.
Nerf RB, that's the solution here, yeah. The AWP, the Blade Storm, the Frenzy.
It's interesting, again, that they don't want to use this tour de force in a round where they're only half buying, so they're saving it for the next one. I feel like they could have had a pretty buffed up buy here, though, but the fact that you have the showstopper onto Zipan, you would have still had 2 guns, you would have had the tour de force, like, I would have considered that a 4-buy, but FPX playing this one relatively safe and still giving themselves an opportunity to do some damage here.
And I can definitely see your perspective, Tom. With the position that DRX are in financially as well, there's some serious reward to be gained by taking a victory here. So, a surprise in one way, but we'll see. As they dive in towards the site, DRX will again have RB taking the space, but Ardis is waiting above for him this time. Not the ideal beginning to that. Now RB's gone down. The trade is there, but Xiao has gotten 3.
He's barely taken any damage as well. He's just swung on 3 different people and headshot every single one. They've only got 12 seconds.
They're going to get it.
So they're going to have to run straight into the site and just basically take a risk and go for it. But it's still going to be a 4 versus 2 scenario. This lurk from Marco could be everything, though. But the man he has to face off against is Xiao going to check it. Killing him off might actually be enough to win the round. The rest of the team definitely haven't been anywhere near as good as the Clutch Master himself. The advantage is there. Everything cleared on the other side as well from Stacks, so all the information has been taken in, and they are not wary of Marco's position at all. It's cleared by Ardis, though. The spam through not going to be enough, and the retake works out for FPX.
Yeah, an incredible round previously from Artis, and he follows up with another very important shot this time around. 9 found for FPX, but it's never going to be a clean follow-up, at least on what we've seen so far. But I'm glancing down, right? And I'm looking at DRX and thinking they've just pulled a timeout into this one. They're going to play on pistols, but they don't have that Blade Storm. They don't have anything, you know, hurdle too large for either of these teams this far in the game. We'll see if there's any sort of a change to that. Same C's nade down. Again, DRX are ready for it. They're waiting it out. They've got their smoke on long. They've got a lot of players here, but the Boombot should stop Zipan from sticking around this area too aggressive. Yeah, that Boombot should get him going aggressively again. That's what I was thinking. We're on the same page here, Zipan. Gotcha, because Artis is here. Tour de force in a back pocket, and RB won the fight. Oh, the
unlucky.
blast pack almost got it.
Yeah, the thing is, though, again, RB doing so much work. Xiao is left blind at the back of the site, but should be able to reposition in time. They need him to be a hero again, and of course, already taking down Zest, just delaying. And that's actually the spike. The flash is solid, and Xiao has put another in the dirt. This pistol round was looking dangerous, and maybe it still is, but Cider is watching patiently. Eventually, will connect the shot into Buzz. And Marco, he's managed to get himself a rifle, but no shields, 3 players, spike down. It'd have to be impressive.
I'll give Angel the MVP for that round. Fantastic utility, not just the flashes, but the stun that I think hit Zest, and maybe Stacks as well, or at least kept him back. We'll find the shot onto Mako, and this clutch now might be on if it wasn't for the hero of FPX. Round in, round out, this guy's been there. 3 kills to put double digits on the board. EMEA close to a victory on DRX's map pick. And they've won 5 out of 6 of these defensive rounds so far, Tom. But remember, what we just saw go down was another low buy. And another round where RB got peaked by a tour de force and won the fight
with a frenzy. Yeah. And he almost killed Zipan as well.
He did.
Like, that's the thing. And it's what he's able to do with one clip of that gun that most people can't do with every single bullet in that gun. Same setup. It's not really done much to deter DRX from taking this control, the deep smoke, but there is a bit more of a push this time from Zipan around the edge of it. And actually, because they haven't taken the control this time, he's going to get very deep within this spot.
Yeah, another piece of Angel's utility there, the shock, or the stun, sorry, coming down towards A long, keeping them back that little bit more. So they're not actually trying to get the kill with the C's nade necessarily. I mean, if they go fast, of course they are. But they're making sure nobody crosses to short, then they're stunning it, so if anybody is there, Zipan will kill them on the way up. And now Zipan's in this corner with a great position, but he's not the contact man. He's not going to fire the first shot. It's Xiao further back who's going to be firing away. Even with the flash, he just wants them to know, I'm over here. I am holding this control. And then Zipan gets the jump on RB. Finally, they win that opening duel. And although it's traded back, still a comfortable advantage for FPX.
Yeah, Xiao actually re-peaked after the flash went off. And now we're going to see the Cosmic Divide used. Now, this is actually baited utility being thrown in on the other side. And they're rotating completely. The sound, of course, diminished, but they're going to walk into the trap. And now that information is to be had by Artis. The thing is, the operator, definitely not the weapon you really want in this scenario, but he's going to use this himself to cross over to the site. He has been revealed, though. The swing not going to work out, and he had Cider to support. It's left onto Marco, and he can't clutch this one out. 11-8, the defensive side really putting up numbers now for FPX. And DRX, well, on their own map choice, needing to pull something out of the bag here.
You know, Tom, I think of the game so far, and this half has definitely looked very good for FPX. They look like they've recovered on a lot of the issues before. I think Xiao is still showing up incredibly, but there are also other facets.
26 and 11.
Yes, we're starting to see some of those other facets turn up as well. On the DRX side, to be honest, they should already be close to match point with the way the first half went.
Yeah.
They've got to be pretty good at it. But it's not like this can't turn around for them, even here with pistols. And RB is again getting a ton of space towards the B site. The rest of the players, though, not committing to this. You can see long push very, very slowly. This is going to be a paced out round. and almost a fake from DRX, right? They're planting, they're giving all this control, but they want to open space for Mako to flank. They want to open up all these angles, but FPX are a little bit too quick in getting back in there. So I think that's going to cause a lot of problems.
Oh, he hasn't destroyed the Nanoswarm. This is something that Buzz does regularly, is throws them from afar just to try and pop them. They can't be destroyed. Then you've also got the Hunter's Fury. They're just playing this afterplan for as long as they possibly can. The thing is, though, they've still got so many players to find, and they haven't really done any damage. The stun is also wonderful. Again, Angel just basically putting them out of their misery. It needs to be an instant headshot, and it just isn't going to be happening. Still plenty of time for FPX to play with, and DRX, I like the idea, but there wasn't anywhere near enough time burnt off that clock. And
in case anyone didn't see it, that was Xiao getting 3 kills again. Just another round.
Casual.
Standard round out of Xiao.
This was a really nice combination as well, because basically, well, you'd normally put that Aftershock through, but the fact is, because they've actually used the Nightfall, it leaves half of its HP gone and it's a free kill.
I always love to see that, man. You just walk in, scope on a smoke, fire a shot, and it's RB going down on the other side. That's probably the shot that won them the round if they left that guy alive. I'd be very afraid. 4 in a row needed for DRX. It's tough, but it's not impossible. It's going to start with a long aggression, flash out. That gives it away. FPX know now that they're about to take a challenge. With still the TP online, Artis is comfortable playing close. He's got short covered off by Zipan from behind. And now the Op's going to go out and look for a victim. They've got to confirm there's still players here. That utility coming out of Stacks would do it. They decide to put the flash a little further out. And Artis gets 2 for his trouble. Zipan with another. This round's looking done. And with that, we could have the map in FPX's hands.
We should do. It's left onto Marco and Zest and a peek into Artis. This man has been fragging throughout, and he'll be finished off by Zipan as well. 13-8, a dominant defensive side. The Xiao Show comes to the international stage, and Artis adding that little bit of